welcome into the Nick Ledbetter Show. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Good.
Glad you're here today, and another tough week for the Plainview Bears.
Yes.
The injury bug has hit us.
Yeah, we have. Was looking yesterday, but we've got 9 kids injured. 2's out for the season. 2 more we may get by the end of the year, and then we got 2 questionable this week.
Yeah.
And then we got 3 others that hopefully we'll get them back by the end of the year too. But so we got nine guys that's injured right now.
Wow. And it seems odd, but I know it happens at other schools all the time, and it always seems like it comes in a run though when it happens.
Seems like it snowballs, and it just keeps. We're just ready for it to the injury bug, like you said.
Absolutely. I know you are.
To stop.
It's tough to. It's tough to fill those positions. I mean, you got those guys, and they're there for a reason. And when they get hurt, and but the problem is, somebody else has to step up.
That's right. Somebody's got to step up and take over.
Well,
what they can do.
Again, we had to travel down to Geraldine. It was for our first region game, and first half we actually played a good football game.
Yeah, the first half was probably really the whole game. We played clean football the 2 weeks before, as far as penalties and mistakes and turnovers. Been fairly minimal for the most part. First 2 weeks, and last week we had 4 turnovers and put it on the ground 5 times.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of key penalties. We convert a big 3rd down, and we have a lineman downfield. We draw them off sides, but we move. We have a kid that moves first. We have fumbled 2 punts and put them in the plus side of the field, deep in the plus side of the field, between the 20 and 30 yard line both times. One of them I believe was even on inside the 10 one time. And we give them a short field all night. In the first half, defensively we played well, and then like you said, we had 2 really key injuries that hurt us defensively, and when those guys went out, we had a tough time trying to stop them.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, talking about the penalties and those things, when you've got a young football team, those things happen. But that's one of the things that I guess having to play kids who doesn't have a lot of experience. Those
were
growing pains.
I believe heading into the game, we had 8 guys on defense that had not been starters up to that point, or played a little bit, but we had 8 guys on the field that hadn't had a lot of action out of the 11 on defense. On offense, we had 6.
Right.
We had 6 on offense. So we went from old to young real quick on both sides of the ball.
Oh, absolutely. Just looking at the stats, Jesse Davis had a great football game.
He had a good
rushed
night.
For 119 yards, averaged 9.9 yards a carry. So those kind of numbers are winning football. You of course again defensively, man, you get your 2 best players injured in the game, and those kind of things are hard to overcome in a football game.
And another guy that's a good back for us, Drew Smith, number 19. We wasn't able to get him the ball until later on in the game because of circumstances and how it went, and we kind of held him out of the second quarter for the most part because of his previous injury the week before. Right. So he began the game, and then we held him the second, and then after halftime he played the 3rd and 4th, and we wasn't able to get him the ball until later on. He ran the ball well also, like Jesse. When we was
looks like 5 carries for 67 yards, and
he averaged about 11 and a half yards a carry.
Yeah, actually 13.4.
Yeah.
And Brody McCurdy had 7 carries for 34 yards and about 5 yards a carry. Yeah. So offensively, we're starting to kind of catch on to what's going on, and I know again when you put in a new offense and these kids are learning as they go, and of course and the injuries, and a lot of these kids never have been on a football field before.
Well, that's the thing. You're not only that we're getting better at what we're doing, but we're also having to get better at what we're doing with guys that hadn't been doing it previous weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to us a little bit about the game. Just tell us, of course, I mentioned a couple of names there. Who on defense? Who played good for us?
Up front, Ashley Spagner played fantastic, and we ended up having to take him out with an ankle injury. But when he was in there, he pretty much was a stalwart for us. I mean, they had trouble moving the ball.
Right.
And the other one was Jackson Hush. Jackson Hush was playing well, had several tackles, and when he went out, that hurt us also. And then we had some DBs and guys we had to move from DB to linebacker, and some guys that hadn't got a lot of reps at certain positions at linebacker, so we had to move guys around. And at those 2 injuries, really, we had to put some guys down and move some guys from the back end to the middle to the front end, and that hurt us a little bit on defense. But effort-wise, we played hard, but we just made way too many mistakes.
Right.
Defensive front, as the game went on, we got more upfield, and we were getting trapped and kicked. A lot of that was just some of them's first time to get trapped and kicked too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, I know what you mean. Well, just looking at, we were covering some other games, but I was listening on the radio, and with about 2 minutes left in the first half, it was 14-7.
Yeah, I think they scored with 20-something seconds left before halftime to go up 21.
Yeah, and sometimes those things, and I don't know, especially with young kids, it seems like a score like that right before halftime, a lot of times will just it affects them mentally.
Yeah, we were where we needed to be. We take the first drive and then we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot, punt to them. We got them right to a 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
And they hit a drag for about 12, 13 yards and got the first down, and they were able to capitalize. And then we had some missed keys. It busted out for a touchdown for their first touchdown. Again, we get the ball back, and we shoot ourselves in the foot by jumping off sides on a short yardage. We finally get on the plus side of the field, and we have a 4th and 1, and we jump. When we're trying to draw them, we'd have had them drawn offside, and so that shot us in the foot. And then we hold them to another 3rd down, and then we held Geraldine to a lot of 3rd downs. You hold Geraldine to a 3rd and plus.
Oh, absolutely.
You're having a pretty good night. We held them to enough 3rd and pluses, and we got enough 3 and outs.
Yeah.
From what we needed defensively, other than the big plays. But when we do that, we got to capitalize on those 3rd and pluses and get the stop.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't get some of those stops, and we still got a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah.
Well, we muffed 2 punts, and they got the ball back on the plus side of the field and had to go back on defense again.
Yeah. The turnovers, in a game like that, really, those were big keys in that game. And again, I think those turnovers goes back again to a lot of young players, and they've got some growing pains to go through, and seems like those things happen with younger players.
They do. Well, and some of them's not necessarily younger kids, but it's they don't have a whole lot of experience, a lot of quarters.
Right, yeah.
They've not played a lot of action at varsity level.
Yeah. So, well, Coach, I know it was a tough night, and offensively though, I just from looking at stats and what I heard, we had a good game, played well, and so talk to us a little bit about offensive and who did well on the offensive
Yeah, offensively
line.
Had close to 300 yards on offense. Yeah. All of our guys up front, our core guys up front did a really good job. We had some guys we had to sprinkle in place in different places because especially after we had some injuries.
Yeah.
We had some mistakes on that side. But we ran the ball hard. We tried to open it up a little more and throw the ball. Our routes were there, but the timing of getting the ball off and running the right route is we're still messing that up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and again, I know it's a lot of growing pains, and offensively though, you can see the improvement each week, and the average fan, I know they look at the score. But, But the score is not always everything, and offensively, I thought we improved dramatically from the beginning of the season, and defensively, man, we've kind of went the other way, but we've lost so many players. Take the way the offensive played on Friday night with the way our defense started the first of the year, we win that football game.
That's a good chance.
Yeah. And so hopefully we get some of those kinks worked out this week. We got another big region game this week. Susan Moore will be coming up to Plainview, and first of all,
first home game.
Finally, we get a home game, and you can say what you want, but playing at home helps a lot.
It does. It does. And we got of course, next year to flip over, we'll have 3 home games in a row. But the schedule isn't working in our favor on these 3 road games.
Oh, absolutely.
And new staff coming in late and all that.
Played 3 good football teams too.
Yeah, 3 good. We got another good one coming in Friday night.
Absolutely. I think Susan Moore, probably a little bit of a surprise for a lot of people. They didn't have a great season last year. I think maybe they finished 4-6. Seems like last year. Coming in, they're 3-0 or 2-0, I guess, and
so they're 3. They're
3-0. Okay, yeah, that's right. We're in week 3. We just played our
they played West End that same week we played Collinsville week 0.
So we've got another tough game. Talk to us a little bit about Susan Moore, what they do, and what we need to do to be able to stop them.
Defensively, they're 4-3. They like to try to keep 2 high safeties. I think we'll see them roll it down a little bit against us and get an 8-man box. But they have a guy up front, number 55, is a pretty good football player. Everybody they've played's had a little trouble blocking him. That they fly around the ball very well on defense. They kind of get that little bit of a grit to them.
Right.
They just a little stingy and they get after it. But it's a team. It's defense. It's a team we should be able to move the ball against.
Yeah.
And then offensively, for them, it's all around the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's all around him. They run midline, veer, and zone read. They do everything out of the shotgun spread, and basically run the triple option out of the shotgun. And the quarterback does a really, really good job. He'll read it for 5 yards. He'll have his hands in the guy for 5 yards all the way up the line of scrimmage until he decides to read it or pull it.
Yeah.
And he's a quick kid, and the back he's doing it with is a quick kid. He's a big kid, and they do well at what they do. And you can see as you watch films why they do what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bad up front, but they're also not mashers. Everything's zone steps. They zone steps, they just don't block you, and they'll try to work up the next level, and they're just reading one guy. They're just trying to make you wrong, and they're really good at making you wrong.
Yeah. I know they played Sylvania last week and defeated Sylvania 28-21, which sounded like a pretty good football game. I know Sylvania's struggling a little bit. They're kind of in the same boat as Plainview right now. They got some injuries, and I think they lost one of their running backs on Friday night against Susan Moore. But big game for us, and so hopefully we can get a big crowd at home this week. First home game, and man, I hope we fill the stands this week. And
we need a good crowd to get behind these kids. These kids worked hard.
Absolutely, and so talk a little bit about. I know again, you had some couple of players had some good stats, and so who was some other kids that stepped up, and maybe some of the I know you do awards each week. So talk to us about those awards.
I know our big hit award went to Zeb Ferguson. He had a crackback. It was pretty good crackback on a linebacker that he knocked. Yeah. He pretty well flat backed the other night. So he got the our Punisher award. D-line was Ashley Spagner. O-line was Mason Cooper, the freshman. We're high on him. We got a lot of expectations for him in the future. He's really a B team player, but he stepped right up into the varsity role, and he's done a fantastic job so far this year. As the skill guy, our guy on offense that got our offensive award, our beast ball that the team signs was Jesse Davis.
Yeah.
I got Drew Smith and Jesse's names mixed up. Jesse got that. On the defensive side, as far as the defensive MVP of the night was Drew Smith.
Yeah.
He got that on that award. Our special teams again was our punter. He got he's I don't know what the stats are for the state. He's punted way more than I'd want him to punt, but every time he kicks the ball,
oh my goodness!
I mean he out kicks our coverage.
Yeah.
I know it's you get your kids used to covering and getting their lanes, and on most average punts is 33 yards in high school football, and his average is 47. He's had some a lot further than that.
Yeah, I know.
We have a hard time covering those punts.
Yeah, there was one kick, and I just happened to catch it on radio and was getting back in the car from one of the other games, and he had punted. And I think if he was right, he was maybe inside the 20, and when he kicked it, it wound up rolling inside the 10-yard line. So I told my wife, I said, he just kicked that thing about 80 yards.
It was, I believe it was a 74-yard punt.
Wow. He is, and
that's David Mejia.
Yeah, he has got to be right up there in the state leading.
I don't see how anybody could have more yards punting
I
than
don't
him.
either. I mean, he's done.
Of course, like I said, we've punted more than we needed. We've
Well,
punted
yeah,
more than we needed to, but he's also boomed majority of them.
Absolutely, he's done a fantastic job of getting getting the defense in pretty good shape as far as field position so we'll see how that shakes out. Again, big week this week, home game, and talk to us a little bit just about this is your first home game as head coach. What does it mean to you? Finally getting to come home to play and just I know you've got a lot of memories of some great football games you played at Plainview, and so what's your
Oh, well, we're excited to be at home. I mean, it's nice to always finally be at home. I'm excited for our kids that we don't have that rush after school to get through our walkthroughs, to get our meal before the game, to get taped, to get on the bus, make sure we got everything, and ride a 40-minute to an hour bus ride somewhere, and then walk the field and get back, finish taping, and then head back out for pregame. There's no rush, so that's always a good thing when your kids get to have a chance to get off their feet a little bit more and get focused in on the game. And I'm excited about that. And I'm trying to think if I've ever even stood on the sidelines with the new bleachers being up. That first year that they had those up, I can't remember if we was on that sideline or not before I went to Scottsboro, but. It's weird for me to be on that opposite sideline.
Yeah, it really is. But man, we have a great stadium there, and I hope we fill it up this week, and another big game for the Bears, and you you look at it, we're set 0-3, but we still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. So we can make some adjustments and get things rolling and have a great season. I know a lot of times it's hard to keep those players keep their confidence up and their expectations. So what do you do? I mean, in a situation like this, I mean, I know you have to give them that.
Yeah, we just got to stay upbeat and positive every day and get ready to work. And we had an okay day at practice on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday's practice went really, really well. And each day it's getting better. We've changed a lot of things on defense because of some guys that are injured and out. So we've had to change some things up on defense. And so far, that was one of the things we struggled at Monday. Anytime you add something new, you got to. So Monday we kind of struggled what was new, and then yesterday we looked really good at it.
That's great.
It was difficult for the quarterback to read some of the things we were doing.
And I know we lost one player to a knee injury, be out for the season, and had a couple more banged up.
Yeah.
So does it look like most of them may be back?
Well, Noah White was a young kid that got hurt, injured. I don't know if we'll have him back or not. He's a freshman. Got injured on kickoff, and then Jackson Hush. He's the knee injury, season-ending knee injury with the ACL. Ashley Spagner's, he's day-to-day, be questionable for Friday night. And then we had Mejia David. He got hurt at practice this week. Got rolled up on. Got standing straight up and got rolled up on. So he's kind of day-to-day right now, but I think he'll be okay by Friday.
I did see Ashley at church on Sunday, and I know he was limping pretty bad. And, he's a big part of your team and just not only on the field but just as a leader for this football team.
Yeah, he's been fantastic all year.
Yeah, he's a fine young man, and hopefully we get him back this week and can get our first win. I feel good about this Plainview team and where we're going. A lot of work, and again, I know we've talked about this. A lot of players, even though they were juniors and seniors, that Watton necessarily hadn't been on the field a whole lot. Had a huge senior class last year, and then the injury bug, has just been. And that was one thing I wanted to ask about, and I've had 2 or 3 people ask me, well, what do you think? I mean, again, I know we've had just tons of injuries. I mean, it's just I don't know what is it. Is it because maybe these kids hadn't been in the weight room enough? I mean, or is it just a normal?
There's a lot of aspects of the weight room on some of them. If you're not getting those parallel squats and getting those knees stronger, those muscles around those ligaments, they're more susceptible. And we've had to do a lot of teaching and learning. We've probably not. We tried to work them out and bust our tails the best we could, and do a lot of agility stuff to strengthen their knees and ankles and legs. And some of them, 2 of them just kind of been freak.
Yeah.
One of them the other night, we got cut. One of our injuries, we were fighting out on a block and trying to contain a football, and they were engaged on a block, and we had one of those where he was engaged on the block, and then he fell off, and that shoulder went right down on the foot. Those when you're moving, when 2 objects are moving against each other with pressure as big as those kids are, and then all of a sudden you're full speed and one rolls up on you and cuts you out. There's not a whole lot in the weight room can do to fix that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we had this discussion. I had 2 or 3 that asked me about it, and we were talking about weight room. And of course, I know you guys come in late, so a lot of this weight room stuff comes in the off season. And you guys wasn't there for the off season, so I know that maybe that's probably something you'll work a lot on.
Most of our guys had the good weight room in the summer. Some of the kids that had to come out, like Jackson, didn't get a whole lot of weight room, and he didn't get a lot of that weight room in the summertime.
Sure.
But he's an athlete; he needed to get it. We got to get those guys taken care of during the summertime. We got to get them healthy to where they can compete. In the season.
Well, Coach, again, it was a tough week last week, but opportunity to play at home this week, and I look forward to seeing us play on Friday night. And again, we want to encourage everybody. Please come out Friday night and support the Plainview Bears, and hopefully we get that first win. Man, it'd be great to get that win at home this week.
Sure would.
And those kids, I know from playing and from watching and from everything, a lot of times that first win will get you over the hump a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it can do amazing things for a football team once you get that first win.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it, Coach. We appreciate you coming in today, and you know, we'll be right back here again next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about the big win at Plainview over Susan Moore.
Yeah, we got a chance to beat this bunch. I got a good team, but I mean, if we'll take care of those two guys on offense for them, you know, we got a chance to beat them.
I appreciate it, Coach, and we'll see you
All right,
again
appreciate
next
it.
week.
Thank you.
At First Southern State Bank in Rainsville, we excel within the walls of our bank and outside these walls too. We're actively working with area schools to improve classrooms and supporting area student athletes on fields and courts. We work and worship at most churches in the Rainsville community. We also work to enhance the lives of area seniors, thanking them for a lifetime of contributions. We're the bankers and corporate citizens at First Southern State Bank. True community banking.
Listen to some of Johnson's satisfied customers.
Everything exceeded our expectations. No one will ever work here other than Johnson. We give them an A+. The crew was awesome.
This is the third company that installed a unit in my house and the first that did it right.
Don't you want to know what type of person is working at your home? All of our employees must pass a background check and are subject to random drug testing. We won't send anyone to your home that we wouldn't trust in ours.
Call Johnson Heating and Cooling today, Alabama's largest and most awarded TVA dealer.
Hello folks, this is Andy White down here at Bobby Ledbetter's Twin City in Fort Payne, Alabama. I want to invite everybody to come out to our new location. We're at 1411 Glen Boulevard, right where you turn to go on Airport Road. We've got plenty of inventory for you to choose from. I got cars, trucks, vans, sport utility vehicles of any make and model. Come down here and visit us. Let us see what we can do for you. If you got some slow credit, I've got some banks that'll take care of that. We've got great financing, got a great selection of cars. Y'all come down here and see us.
Don't take the first deal that comes along when you can do better at BobbyLedbetter.com and Twin City Used Car Sales, located at 1411 Glen Boulevard in South Fort Payne.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.